This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Idea. That's all it takes. One morning, for instance, a 39-year-old resident of a not particularly large or noteworthy town left home clutching a pistol. And that was, in hindsight, a really stupid idea. Because this is a story about a hostage drama, but that wasn't the intention. That is to say, it was the intention that it should be a story, but it wasn't the intention that it should be about a hostage drama. It was supposed to be about a bank robbery. But everything got a bit messed up, because sometimes that happens with bank robberies. So the 39-year-old bank robber fled, but with no escape plan. And the thing about escape plans is just like what the bank robber's mom always said years ago, when the bank robber forgot the ice cubes and slices of lemon in the kitchen and had to run back. If your head isn't up to the job, your legs better be. It should be noted that when she died, the bank robber's mom consisted of so much gin and tonic that they didn't dare cremate her because of the risk of explosion. But that doesn't mean she didn't have good advice to offer. So after the bank robbery that wasn't actually a bank robbery, the police showed up, of course, so the bank robber got scared and ran out, across the street and into the first door that presented itself. It's probably a bit harsh to label the bank robber an idiot simply because of that, but, well, it certainly wasn't an act of genius. Because the door led to a stairwell with no other exits, which meant the bank robber's only option was to run up the stairs. It should be noted that this particular bank robber had the same level of fitness as the average 39-year-old. Not one of those big city 39-year-olds who deal with their midlife crisis by buying ridiculously expensive cycling shorts and swimming caps because they have a black hole in their soul that devours Instagram pictures. More the sort of 39-year-old whose daily consumption of cheese and carbohydrates was more likely to be classified medically as a cry for help rather than a diet. So by the time the bank robber reached the top floor, all sorts of glands had opened up, causing breathing that sounded like something you usually associate with the sort of secret societies that demand a password through a hatch in the door before they let you in. By this point, any chance of evading the police had dwindled to pretty much non-existent. But by chance, the robber turned and saw that the door to one of the apartments in the building was open, because that particular apartment happened to be up for sale and was full of prospective buyers looking around. So the bank robber stumbled in, panting and sweaty, holding the pistol in the air, and that was how this story ended up becoming a hostage drama. And then things went the way they did. The police surrounded the building, reporters showed up, the story made it onto the television news. The whole thing went on for several hours until the bank robber had to give up. There was no other choice. So all 8 people who had been held hostage, 7 prospective buyers and 1 real estate agent, were released. A couple of minutes later, the police stormed the apartment. But by then, it was empty. No one knew where the bank robber had gone. That's really all you need to know at this point. Now the story can begin. Chapter 2. 10 years ago, a man was standing on a bridge. This story isn't about that man, so you don't really need to think about him right now. Well, obviously, you can't help thinking about him. It's like saying, don't think about cookies, and now you're thinking about cookies. Don't think about cookies. All you need to know is that a man was standing on a bridge 10 years ago, up on the railing, high above the water, at the end of his life. Don't think about that anymore now. Think about something nicer. Think about cookies. Chapter 3. It's the day before New Year's Eve in a not particularly large town. A police officer and a real estate agent are sitting in an interview room in the police station. The policeman looks barely 20, but is probably older, and the real estate agent looks more than 40, but is probably younger. The police officer's uniform is too small, the real estate agent's jacket slightly too large. The real estate agent looks like she'd rather be somewhere else. And after the past 15 minutes of conversation, the policeman looks like he wishes the real estate agent were somewhere else, too.